In this video, we're going to take several chapter tests that we have in our file cabinet, and we're going to create a unit test or exam and choose questions at random from those different chapters. So the first thing we're going to do is go over to coursework, and we're going to add an assignment, and it's going to be an online test. And I'm going to name my test, and for this example, it's going to be exam 6, which just happens to be chapters 8, 9, and 14. 8, 9, and 14. And that's going to be in my topic 12. It's required. It's an exam. The due date, I'm just going to put December 14th. I'm going to open it. I'm just going to open it last week so I can go ahead and see it now. I'm in my master course, so it's not going to matter anyhow. No one else is going to see it. So I will open it September 7th. It's going to be graded on step 2. I want the student to view their test as soon as it's fully graded, but I don't want them to see the answers to their missed questions until after the due date. I'm going to leave this check in auto grade because anyone that doesn't finish it or take the test before the due date passes will automatically get a grade of a 0. My time limit is going to be 60 minutes, and I want 5 questions per page on the pagination. I want to shuffle sections, creating a random order for each student. I'm going to lock them out if they leave the test screen. Not going to worry about extra credit or a password. Not going to require the lockdown browser. They can only take it one time, so I'll leave the retake at 0. Nothing else here to fill out. And I just click save my new assignment. And then I am ready to load or import questions. But before I do that, it's got one exam already in here, it says. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. You won't need that particular one because your chapters will import as separately. So I'm just going to hit delete, click OK, and it's gone. So I want to import questions from my file cabinet. So I click import questions, and it's going to take a while. You see it connecting up here, and it's going to take 3-4 minutes to load. So I'm just going to stop talking right now and pick back up here in a minute when it gets it loaded. My file cabinet is finally loaded. I want to go down and pick the first chapter that I want for this unit test, and it's chapter 8. So I click on chapter 8, and then it shows up here in the file cabinet imported section 1. I want to check that box, and I want to click import selected. And it looks like there's nothing happening, but there really is. It's going to show up here in just a moment and tell me that it's imported that section. So one section has been imported. I click OK, and then I go back to coursework. And I slide down to my topic 12, which is where I have this test. And I click on the name of the test again, exam 6. I go to the test builder, and there's all my questions. It says imported section 1. As long as I remember that that's what that is, if I change the title from imported section 1 to chapter 8, it will tell the students what chapter it came from. I don't guess that would really matter, So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll say edit, and I'm going to change the section name to chapter 8. And then I'm going to click on pool here because I've got 3 chapters and I want 100 questions. So I'm going to do 33 questions from 2 chapters and 34 from the other one. So I'll start off with 34 questions here. And chapters 9 and 14, I'll do 33 questions each from. And the time limit, point value for each question. I've got 100 questions. I want them to be worth 1 point each. And you have to put something in here, and putting it in here saves you from having to put it down 100 times over on the side a little bit later. I'm not going to put a time limit on this section because this one here applies only to the questions in this section. I've got 60 minutes for the entire test, so I'm not going to split it up by section or chapter. So I'll leave that blank. It's not extra credit, so I'll leave that blank. And I just hit save this section. And there it is. Here's my chapter 8. It says it's going to pick 34 questions at random. But notice that when I get past a certain point here, short answer, essay questions, I don't want those on my test. If you want them, leave them in there. But I wanted to take those out. So I will go down here to manage questions. And I'll go up and start with my short answer. Sometimes they get scattered along the multiple choice and you have to go through and skip checking. But I can just go down through here and check each one. And there's 115 questions on each of these tests that I'm loading. So from 70 to 115, I put a check mark in front of, but this is a lot faster than clicking on the question number and then scrolling down and click delete this question and then go back and do the next one. This is faster. So let me get these all checked. And then here on the move box, if I click this little drop down arrow, I can hit delete and then I submit, and it's going to take out all of those questions that I did not want. I see that I missed one here in the checkbox, but I can click on it and then again delete and submit, and that gets me down to my 70 multiple choice questions. So that's 70 questions. Of those 70, the test will pick 34 at random from that pool. Now I want to put in chapter 9. So I'll go back to import questions. And again, it's going to take a while to get back to my file cabinet. My file cabinet's back up now. My next chapter that I'm entering is chapter 9. So I'll click on it. Again, put a check mark in front of the imported section 1. Click import selected. One section has been imported. OK. Go back to my coursework. Slide down to topic 12 where my test is. Click on the name of the exam. Go to the test builder. And there's my chapter 8 that I've already put in. And here's chapter 9. I want to label it chapter 9. And I'm going to choose pool, and I'm going to choose 33 questions from this chapter. Point value 1. No time limit here, no extra credit here. Save section. Scroll back down to chapter 9 now and click on manage questions. And I want to get rid of all my short answer and essay. So I'll put a check mark in front of those questions. Keep going, keep going. This gets to be time consuming, but it's still a lot faster than the other option. And then again, I click on the drop down by move, click on delete, Click submit, and I only have my multiple choices left. And then I've got one more chapter for this unit test. So I'm going to import questions again. And as usual, it'll take a while for the file cabinet to show up. My file cabinet's up now. I'm going to go down and choose my last chapter, chapter 14. Check the imported section 1, import selected. Click OK. Go back to my coursework. Back down to topic 12 where the test is. Click on the test. Go to the test builder. Scroll down to my last section, which is going to be imported section 1, but I'm going to change that to chapter 14. Pool of 33 questions at 1 point apiece. No time limit, no extra credit. Save this section. Scroll back down to the very bottom, the last test here. Manage questions. And again, I'm going to get rid of my short answer and essays. By putting a check mark in front of each question. You would think I'd be a little bit faster at this by now. And number 115. And then I'm going to delete these, submit, and they're gone. Now what I have got is 3 chapters, chapters 8, 9, and 14, total of 100 questions. So my test is there. I can preview the test if I'd like. And it tells me what chapter these questions are from. 5 questions a page. Then again, if we get over to, if that first one I had 34 questions, so 5 sevens 35, we get to chapter, or page 7, it ought to be into chapter 9, and it is. And so there's all the multiple choice questions. So we can exit this. And if we go back to coursework, there we see the test in topic 12. And if we want to look at this as the student, we can go up here and change the view to students, change view. If I scroll down to topic 12, there's my chapter 6 exam, or exam 6, chapters 8, 9, and 14, and I can click it since I left it open. And looking at it as a student, I can start the exam. It tells me I can only take it one time. It's got a 60-minute time limit. I can click on it. It's going to load the exam. Starts off with my chapter 8 with 5 questions a page. So successfully loaded. Using 3 chapters to pull 100 question test out of a possible, let's see, each one had 70, 210 questions. I pulled 100 random questions out of 210 questions, 34 out of one chapter, 33 out of the other 2 chapters. And that's all there is to it.